America.
Let's discuss with pollster and communication strategist Frank Luntz. Frank, great to see you as always. I think this divide was perhaps best encapsulated this week by this conversation between Tucker Carlson and Senator Ted Cruz of Texas. What did you think of that?
It was dramatic. It's something that I'm not used to seeing within the Republican Party. Typically, you've got 90% of them being very aggressive, being very focused, willing to use the military to put America in a stronger position. And that is not the case right now. And it's interesting that Trump, the president, even has people who support him who are opposed to what he's saying about Iran. We've been looking at the polling. 85% of Americans do not want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. However, they're evenly split over whether the U.S. should be involved. It's really 45% get involved militarily, 45% do not, and 10% that don't know. But there's also a split on the Democratic side between those who simply want to back Israel, not militarily, and those who want to back the Palestinians, or in this case, Iran. It's not that they're backing Iran, but they do not support the president's position on this. So both political parties are going through a little bit of chaos, a little bit of confusion. And I think that's why the president postponed the decision for 2 weeks to try to get some more clarity.
There's just also this, decades of weariness because of protracted wars, right? And that factors very much into this on both sides.
And let's be candid, it hasn't worked out for the U.S. Afghanistan, I'm sorry, but Afghanistan was not a success.
That's right.
Iraq was not Iraq, you can argue about that, but it's still problematic. And Americans just don't want to be part of forever wars. Trump got that point right. And what's interesting is that here in Ukraine, Trump in some ways is the advocate for peace, although it's changed over the last 72, 96 hours. In the end, I'd be advising Iran, knowing the situation that I do. Pay attention to him. The president does not like to be ignored. The president does not like to be rejected. He's given them another chance, negotiate, commit to getting rid of the weapons.
You're saying don't dismiss the 2 weeks.
Pay attention, because you can save your country. I can't call it, and it's not my job as a pollster to call it. I can't even call where America's going to be, because we're changing over time. But we do not want Iran to have nuclear weapons. And if we believe that not only do they have them, but there's a threat that they will use them, the public will be on the side of action, not on the side of ignoring it.
You're essentially saying that Iran should not devalue Trump's 2 weeks that he gave them. But I do want to ask, as a communication strategist, what you make of him talking about 2 weeks as an extension and hoping for diplomacy when he said that we should wait 2 weeks for a number of things that have never come to fruition.
It's
actually, Frank, I'm sorry to cut you off, but the president is speaking right now. Let's listen.